more than just the physical side of healing endometriosis, but also addressing the mental health, the emotional health, and the spiritual health side of healing endometriosis as well, because there is so much more to it than just the physical side of things. Hello, Endo Warrior Goddesses. I hope you are having a fantastic day. I am kind of loving these little travel vlogs where I'm taking you along with me on my journeys to different appointments and things of that nature. So today, if you're wondering, if you haven't read by the title, we are on our way to an acupuncture appointment for pain management with endometriosis symptoms. And I'll talk about this a little bit more in a second. But first of all, if you are new to my channel, I just wanted to say thank you for joining me here. I hope that you are navigating your journey through endometriosis, and that's what I'm here to do, is just to share my story and inspire others to take their health into their own hands and really advocate for themselves and take their power back from their illness. So I'm so glad that you're here. For all of my Endo Warrior Goddess community, I wanted to just remind you, if you haven't joined us already in the Endo Warrior Goddess community, I would love to see you there. There is tons of information on the link in the description below, so I'll let you check that out, and I'll talk a little bit more about it in the end of this video. But for now, let's get back into today's video. I am on my way to an acupuncture appointment. So I've heard lots of wonderful things from many different people in the community, not just the endometriosis community, but just people who deal with chronic pain in general as well. And acupuncture seems to be something that has synchronistically come up in my life as a alternative therapy option. And this is not my first acupuncture session. I've had one session done before, and it wasn't necessarily related to endometriosis pain, but it did come up during our session, so it came up as something that we could continue to pursue as a, not a cure, but a treatment plan for managing endometriosis pain. And my acupuncture therapist, her name is Samantha Mee, or Paramdev Kaur, and I will link her information on the description as well. She is absolutely amazing. I love everything that she does. Even if you don't pursue a session with her, it's absolutely worth just following her because she's such a bright light in the community. So she recommended acupuncture therapy to me at the start of each of my cycles to help manage the pain that endometriosis brings with cramps. So most of you know, if you haven't already, go back and check out some of my previous videos. I had my laparoscopy done for endometriosis to diagnose and remove with excision and ablation. I had my surgery done for endometriosis back in April, on April 20th of this year in 2021. And I am just now getting this week my third period since my surgery. So I've been kind of documenting each of those cycles as I have them. So I will take you along my third cycle and compare it to the other cycles that I've had after pursuing acupuncture therapy. And I'm actually going to try another therapy session as well. So when you see me doing a very similar video with another treatment plan in the same outfit, that's exactly what happened. Is I'm doing two things today, acupuncture and pelvic floor physical therapy. So if you're looking for the video, I'll link it here if it's already posted. That way you can check that out as well, and I'll let you know my experiences with both of those, how I like them, if I pursue them both, and I have a feeling that I will. So I'm on my way to the acupuncture space now. I will show you a little bit of that once I get there, and if I am able to record, I will. If not, then I will just kind of show you as much as I can, and I'll share my experience with you when I leave. If you're a Michigander and you are kind of metro to the northernmost part of Metro Detroit, I guess northeastern part of Metro Detroit, and you frequent the 696 highway, then you know how reckless and ruthless and just fast-paced some of these 696 drivers can be. It took me a long time to feel comfortable driving on this freeway as someone who frequents 94, where the speed limit's only 55 miles an hour, so Not that people don't drive 70 on that freeway, it's just a lot more chill because people aren't driving like crazy maniacs on a straightaway freeway like 696. Rant over. Okay. I am leaving my acupuncture appointment now. I'm on my way to physical therapy now, but I wanted to come in and just check in with my experience with you from this acupuncture session because I don't want to lose it. I want to tell it to you while I'm fresh, and then later on I'm going to come back in and I'll finish off this video checking in, telling you how I feel, and a little bit more about the benefits of acupuncture itself. So, just setting up my session, we kind of spoke a little bit. I didn't get to record my session too much at all, really. I didn't record the room or anything like that, but I love Samantha's setup. She's got such a beautiful space. It's just, the energy is so healing and calming and comforting. So she set me all up on her table and got me kind of covered up with some weighted blankets, nice and warm and cozy, and then she put the needles into my ears. So the needles in our acupuncture sessions only go in the ears. I think there's only 5 needles per ear, and I will touch on this when I verify again later and talk more about the benefits. But she put the needles into my ears, and they're so tiny, you guys. The needles are so tiny. They're actually only the width of a strand of hair. So it's not like going to get an IV or having a tattoo done or anything crazy like that. It is just simply a few little pricks that go into your ears. You barely feel it. It really feels more like pressure than anything. And you do just some deep breathing while they go in. And then the needles sit in your ear. She left me for an hour session. So this time she kind of just left the room. She set me up with some frequency music. A lot of times she just lets me choose the music that I want to listen to, but this time she set me up with frequency music, which is actually what I was going to request anyways if I got the option. And it's really just like a meditative kind of session from there. So it's really just like your time to rest and receive is the way that she sets you up. And so it's just your time to breathe and meditate and let any messages from spirit or the universe come through that you might need to hear. And it's really just to receive the healing benefits of the acupuncture needles, and the pressure points that she puts the needles in are beneficial for the rest of the body. But during the session, things come up. So and this happened to me the first time during my first session too. This was my second session, and once I was kind of in that mode, like about a half an hour went by, and I was just, doing my meditation. I had some messages come through spirit, divine guidance, a couple of like epiphany moments, divine inspirations or divine downloads, and then I get to like 45 minutes, and this almost sense of not panic, but it kind of feels like the onset of panic starts to set in for me. And I feel like my head just gets all this pressure in my head. It feels like a headache on the backs, the sides, and my temples. And it almost made me feel a little bit nauseous, honestly, this time. And in my mindset, I knew that I couldn't freak out and resist to this. This is just like any breathwork session or meditation or any kind of energy work session that you do. When something like that is coming up for you in the body, you can't just get up and abandon the session, which is what you feel like you want to do so badly. But when you do that, you don't get to feel the full benefit of the practice, and you don't get to actually move through that energy that needed to move through you. So I always look at that as a sign that my body had something stuck, some stagnant, stuck energy that really needed to be released and let go of. and that was my body's way of doing that. So I surrendered to that, and I just started breathing into that and just slowly paying attention to my breath. And I started to hear wind chimes and the wind outside, and it calmed me down. I could feel my muscles start to relax, and then I could feel my heart just kind of flutter, almost like it was open and willing to receive the healing that it was about to undergo. And I had a vision after that was kind of me stepping into another realm, another dimension, and I stepped into this hand-carved wooden canoe, and I sat down in the canoe in the water, and I was beside all of these willow trees, and I just got to sit down and kind of float down this little stream, this little river, with all this beautiful greenery around me for the rest of my session. And I was just so calm, and I felt that sense of calm come over my whole body. And it was really, really beautiful, because it's always a constant reminder that, like, we can do hard things, we can get through hard things, and this is all part of our journey. And I've recently been awakened to the fact that my mission here on earth is embodiment, and really living my lifestyle with the true sense of embodiment, simply living out my purpose and being able to use my body in the way that I wish and desire, whatever obstacles this lifetime might throw at me, to be able to achieve that mission of embodiment. So it was a really, really beautiful experience. After that, she just took out the needles. I slowly got up, and then after any energy work session, it's always really important to drink tons and tons of water, flush out all those toxins, flush out all that energy. So that's what I'm going to be doing for the rest of the day. I'm going to check back in later to close out this video and just tell you a little bit more about the benefits of acupuncture for endometriosis. And so I will see you in a little bit. Alright everybody, it is the next day now. I honestly wasn't feeling well enough to come back in and check in yesterday. So the thing about acupuncture is that it can help you go through a release, like an emotional, spiritual release. And as I mentioned yesterday, I kind of had that like anxious feeling that was built up towards the end of my session, and I felt like there was this big emotional release. So because of that, sometimes some of the side effects from acupuncture can be a little wonky. So yesterday when I left my session, I felt super calm and just very chill. I went through the next few hours of my day just feeling very, very calm. And even like throughout the evening, I made dinner just totally fine, and I had a really productive, just gentle, go with the flow evening. And then, but kind of before I went to go to bed, I started getting a little bit of like digestive, like a stomach ache kind of pain. And I felt like a little bit nauseous, and I knew that this it really could be anything, but it is something that happens when you have a big like release, like a big emotional release during an energetic session. And I knew that that's what happened. For another huge like factor of why I knew that was that I was also feeling very emotional. Like my emotions just felt like they were heightened by like 5,000%. And so I was like, okay, I know that I'm definitely feeling through some things right now. That's usual too. Like even this morning, I woke up feeling like kind of angry, and like I had some things that I needed to work through, like some stuck emotions there. But I did sleep like an absolute baby. So last night I was like, I feel like I could go do a yoga practice. And then I was like, nope. I'm exhausted. I was so tired yesterday. I was zonked. I was just out. So I don't say this to scare you in any way, shape, or form. I don't say this to tell you that you shouldn't go and have acupuncture done, because the benefits super outweigh the negatives. Let me just tell you that. So Actually, today I got my period and I didn't even notice. I was like, am I bleeding? And I went to the bathroom and I'm like, I'm bleeding. That's, good that I didn't feel pain with it, but I did ruin a pair of underwear, so that's not ideal. So I didn't really feel too much pain with it, and even like the cramps that I'm feeling right now aren't that bad. They're, knock on wood, they are pretty manageable right now. So I'll keep you posted on that front. This video is already getting kind of long. I know that I was going to share the benefits of acupuncture with you, but I am actually going to share the benefits of acupuncture inside of the Endo Warrior Goddess community, as well as my experience with it. So if you are interested in checking out more about treatment options, more about womb healing, and more than just the physical side of healing endometriosis, but also addressing the mental health, the emotional health, and the spiritual health side of healing endometriosis as well, because there is so much more to it than just the physical side of things, I know for a lot of us, mental health and emotional health comes into play, so I wanted to touch on that and share more resources in that community for you. And I know that it's just a beautiful space to have like-minded individuals and people who are going through the same thing, so that kind of support and community is always beautiful and welcomed, and I hope to see you in the community. Again, the link is in the description below. It's a totally safe space for us to share more additional resources, but just for anyone who wants to continue building this community around the Endo Warrior Goddesses, we welcome you and hope to see you inside. I will talk to you next video. I love you all so much. Bye. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe for more videos. Join our Endo Warrior Goddess community by clicking the link in the description. And as always, I'll be back every Tuesday, Friday, and Sunday with more content.